This is CBC Here and Now.
Rain on the way for parts of the province overnight tonight, which could lead to some localized flooding. Heavy rain on the way for parts of the province overnight tonight, which could lead to some localized flooding.
That's the big story tonight. Welcome to Here and Now. I'm Carolyn Stokes.
And I'm Peter Cowan. Rainfall warnings are in place all the way from Central to St. John's. Many on the island are bracing for what's to come. People in communities in Central are getting prepared for a storm system that could last well into tomorrow morning. Here Now's Garrett Barry is, well, he's not singing in the rain, but he's reporting in the rain. What's it like right now in Gander?
We'll see how I feel as this rain system progresses, Peter. It's quickly intensified over the past hour or so, but still pretty light compared to what other communities in the region are facing. I was on the road today checking in with some communities, and it was remarkable just how quickly the rainfall intensified once we crossed Terranova National Park into the eastern part, into the Port Blandford side. That rainfall coming down quick now, and that has police warning about potential flooding, potential buildups on the road, and a potential for hydroplaning. Port Blandford is expected to be hit the hardest. It could see up to 150 millimeters of rain over the next 24 hours. And last-minute work began today to build some new ditching along the community side roads. It's an effort to protect the gravel roads in the community where bad memories loom large.
Well, at the last time, Igor, well, we were stranded there in Port Blandford. There was no way to get out, because between Port Blandford and Claremont was washed out, between Port Blandford and Musgrave Town was washed out, and between, well, to go west and French Canada was completely washed out.
Further north in Glovertown, the mayor says infrastructure upgrades should help them weather this storm. Doug Churchill says he isn't bracing for too much destruction, but still he's asking his residents to clear their properties and exercise some caution over tonight and tomorrow. He says his town has also learned to be prepared.
You know, we've put in larger culverts, and we've made some changes to some of our systems, water drainage systems and so on, just in anticipation that you know, we could have these kinds of events from time to time. Of course, you never know exactly what's going to happen until the day comes and the rain stops falling, and you check the results. So you hope everything is working fine, you know.
Obviously, so much of the reaction and the anticipation here is, you know, shaped by those memories of Hurricane Igor 10 years ago. Everybody is hoping that tonight's rainfall doesn't come anywhere close to that. But for a better idea of what we're in for and what we're in for tonight, I'm going to hand.
Thanks, Garrett. And as he mentioned, we do have lots of rain on the way. We're already seeing some of that heavy rain through parts of central and eastern Newfoundland. Earlier this afternoon, lots of roads with pooling water. But let's take a look at the rainfall warnings from the Avalon all the way through to the interior. And that rain will intensify as we head through the overnight tonight. You can see periods of rain continuing. Some of these rainfall rates are anywhere from 10 to as much as 20 millimeters of rain falling in 1 hour. And so you can see anywhere after midnight tonight for the Avalon. Here in the metro area, just seeing some showers now, but that rain will intensify. So we're looking at about the heaviest rain falling in the early morning hours. And then by the afternoon, it's pretty much all said and done. So here's what we're looking for, as much as upwards of 100, even 120 to 140 or 50 millimeters is possible in local areas. And then as you head towards Grand Falls, Windsor, you can see that gradient gradually drops off. So we're looking at anywhere from 10 to 20 millimeters out that way. But it will be quite a bit of rain. And the other thing to note is the winds as well. So winds will pick up overnight tonight, certainly for the Avalon and parts of the Bonavista Peninsula as well. We could see gusts upwards of about 80 kilometers per hour, and exposed areas could see as much as 100 kilometers per hour. So like I said, after that moves off, it's going to shape up to be a fairly nice weekend, but I will have all those details when I come back.
Well, there There is one new case of COVID-19 to report in the province today. A man between 20 and 39 years of age tested positive. He's a resident of Newfoundland and Labrador and recently returned from the United States. According to a government release, the man was asymptomatic while traveling back to central Newfoundland. Contact tracing is now underway. This is the first new case of COVID in 6 days, so there is now a total of 2 active cases in this province. Well, now to Conception Bay South, where a 61-year-old man was killed this morning following a fatal workplace incident at Weir's construction site. RNC say the man sustained fatal injuries and was pronounced dead at the scene. No other details have been given. This is video of the Weir's building in CBS. It's not the location of today's incident. That area was closed off. And police are working with the Office of the Chief Medical Examiner to determine the cause of the man's death. Well, police say they received a report that 2 men attempted to lure a young girl into a truck in Bishops Falls on Thursday. The RCMP says it happened around 5 p.m. on Main Street. They say a passenger in the truck asked the girl to get in, saying he had something for her. The vehicle is described as an older model truck, gray or silver, with a dent and rusting on the passenger side door. Grand Falls Windsor RCMP are asking anyone who sees a vehicle that matches that description to contact police. Well, in other news, it must have been a shocking sight to see. A small private plane had to make an emergency landing earlier this week on a highway. It happened on Route 412 near Seal Cove. 6 passengers and 1 pilot were on board the Navajo plane when its second engine lost power. According to the Transportation Safety Board, a short time later, the first engine also experienced power issues. The pilot had to make an emergency landing on the highway. No one was injured. The TSB says an investigator is looking into the incident.
Well, it's not a firm yes, but the provincial government says it's looking at ways to open Marble Mountain for the upcoming ski season. Normally this time of the year you'd be hearing about early bird passes, but the hill is quiet, and that's making some skiers and snowboarders a little nervous.
I've been skiing at Marble since I've been 4 years old. That's 40 plus years. I think it's very important, especially, I mean, in this age of, COVID, we're always talking about physical and mental health. And, I mean, Marble is more than just a budget item on a spreadsheet to government, I think. I mean, it's a regional facility. I think there are ways to do it, to look at it, to get that facility open. I mean, if we're able to open, restaurants, malls, schools, etc., I think there's an avenue, certainly, to explore to open up Marble Mountain. Will it be perfect? No. I mean, put your heads together and let's get it done and, get this facility open for the winter for sure. I mean, a lot of people are really looking forward to it and really depending on it, to be honest.
And it's not the ski hill that's ever been the problem from the COVID perspective. It's the pressure points like ski rentals, the food and beverage, the lift, the accommodations, the chalet. So those are things we're working through right now on the preparing our opening scenarios, and we're working very closely with staff to do that. So we're in that process, and we're looking forward to hopefully a lot of snow.
Let's go back to the talk of all that rain coming for this weekend. It's bringing back memories of Hurricane Igor. You heard it in Garrett's story earlier, and as you'd have it, Monday happens to mark the 10th anniversary of Igor. It was one of the most destructive and costly hurricanes to ever make landfall on the island. Here now's Heather Gillis takes a look back at the aftermath.
Roads gone, rivers in their place. Almost 240 millimeters of rain fell. That's close to a foot. Water isolating nearly 100 communities in Hurricane Igor's path, like here on the Burin Peninsula Highway.
Close this way.
Yeah, we're about to lose the road, they're saying, so I gotta stop the traffic from going through.
Dozens of communities were in a state of emergency. 170 kilometer-per-hour winds left nearly 50,000 homes without power. Igor uprooted trees, ripped roofs right from buildings, and in a matter of mere hours, Mother Nature disfigured dwellings and flooded family homes.
What I worked for all my life is gone.
And you built this house yourself?
High water wreaked havoc in Trouty.
It was right over the roof of the boom truck, so everything we had is gone underwater. Our truck was covered, skidoos covered, everything. So I don't know, I'm just devastated myself.
In Random Island, 81-year-old Alan Duffett was swept to sea after his driveway washed away. From above, the magnitude of the damage was clear. It cost the provincial government nearly $100 million in disaster aid. Insurance claims were estimated at $65 million.
How are you, sir? How are you doing?
Here.
Then Prime Minister Stephen Harper called in the army. The Red Cross took up the cause, providing water and care kits to hundreds stranded. People had to find alternative ways to bypass washouts, to get necessities, and reunite with loved ones. While the damage and uprooted trees that were once here are long gone, a decade on, Hurricane Igor is still in the memories of many and won't soon be forgotten. Heather Gillis, CBC News, St. John's.
Well, Newfoundland and Labrador politician Harvey Hodder has died. The 77-year-old served as an MHA for Waterford Valley and as Speaker of the House of Assembly until 2007. For more than a decade, Hodder was also involved in municipal politics in Mount Pearl during a pivotal time in the city's history. Here in Now's Mark Quinn has more.
Order, please. Order, please.
He could crack the whip when necessary.
This house is in recess.
But Harvey Hodder showed a gentler side when talking about a central figure in his life on the day he announced his retirement from the House.
My thanks must be extended first to my family, especially a wonderful lady I met in my first year at MUN in 1960. She's been my partner, been my best friend, and she's been my wife for nearly 45 years. Minister, it's time to tell the truth about...
Hodder was a progressive conservative MHA for 4 terms, representing the districts of Waterford, Kenmount, and then after redistribution, Waterford Valley. He was the Speaker during a tumultuous time at the House when the MHA spending scandal broke, a saga that ended with multiple MHAs and a former civil servant owing the province hundreds of thousands of dollars. Hodder worked hard to prevent that from happening again.
At the moment, the rules that apply to members' expense claims are among the most stringent that you will find in any government across this country.
The current Speaker of the House says Hodder's influence is still felt today.
Very often his rulings come up and give us guidance, and I think that's a real tribute to his impact on his district and on this province.
This occurs.
Hodder, who was born in 1943 on the Burin Peninsula in South Creston, started as an educator who taught at least one of the province's MHAs.
He treated every one of his students with the utmost respect and really helped identify the potential within every one of his students. I always remember him as a very fair man. He always looked at every side of every situation.
We knew that it would be relatively transparent, but the degree of transparency...
Hodder will be remembered as the mayor of Mount Pearl during a time of expansion that saw the community achieve city status. And while the Sprung Greenhouse fiasco blossomed on its border, he'll also be remembered as a generous volunteer.
And he did so many things behind the scenes that nobody will ever know. Harvey was famous for that. He had so much compassion in his heart for people, for families and children, I guess, as an educator. And he always gave 100% to his community, which he loved so dearly. Rest in peace, Harvey.
Mark Quinn, CBC News, St. John's.
Cleaning up the ocean. Sean Bath has done more than his fair share of that, and now he's getting an award for it.
And
And we're taking a look at some of the back-to-school photos. These are just a few of the hundreds that were sent in as people marked the first day of school. For many, it was the regular outfits, and also, as you saw there, a few masks and markings of a pandemic. Stay with us, there's more here now to come.
This weather forecast is brought to you by Newfoundland and Labrador Tourism. Take the time to explore this fall. Learn more at stayhomeyear.ca.
Time to bring in Ashley because everyone's watching the weather forecast for this weekend into next week. And Ashley, how wet is it out there right now?
Well, we're just seeing some showers now. I've sought refuge underneath a tree for tonight, but you know, the winds aren't nearly as strong as they were yesterday. Let's take a look at that across the board. We are seeing still gusts upwards of about 50 kilometers, in excess of 50 kilometers per hour in St. John's, and then up through Labrador as well. Some gusty winds were recorded earlier today, and temperatures across the board warm for the Avalon in eastern Newfoundland. We're looking at 20-degree temperatures today. Feels fairly nice, but in behind that cold front that moved through, those temperatures have dipped, and that's because we saw a shift in the wind. So Radar's not really doing a great job picking up the rain right now, but it will continue to get stronger or heavier as we head through the next overnight and into the first half of tomorrow. And you can see that cold air there up through Labrador. So temperatures overnight tonight are going to stay mild for most of eastern Newfoundland, about 16 degrees in St. John's, but those temperatures are going to dip into the single digits for the rest of the island, pretty much 1 degree in Happy Valley Goose Bay, -3 in Lab City. And again, those winds will ramp up tonight for the Burin Peninsula as well as the Avalon. We're looking at gusts out of the south anywhere from 80 to as much as 100 kilometers per hour in some of those exposed areas. Once that rain moves off, it should be all said and done by the time tomorrow afternoon rolls around, and it'll just stay cloudy for eastern areas, mainly the Avalon. It's actually setting the stage for a fairly beautiful day for the rest of the province, although it will feel very fall-like, certainly into the afternoon tomorrow as those temperatures dip again into, or not dip, but sit around the 10 to 14 degree range. And those winds, like I said, in the morning will be warm for St. John's. And then once we get that shift to northerlies, that's when the temperature will drop. So we'll sit around 10 degrees for most of the afternoon tomorrow, and then similar temperatures up through Labrador, single digits for Lab City. The rest of Sunday, maybe a few showers possible, some cloudy periods, but overall a ridge of high pressure is going to move in, and that's going to keep things fairly quiet through the weekend, even into Monday as well, with those temperatures again feeling very fall-like. So 10 to 14 degrees pretty much across the board, a little cooler in Lab City, and then similar temperatures as we head into Monday. So the next thing that we're going to talk about, I've been talking about it for the last couple of days, is an update on Hurricane Teddy. So right now, a Category 4 hurricane, which is going to impact Bermuda as we head through the night tonight, as we head through the weekend rather, and then heads towards the Maritime provinces. So at this point, the track is to make landfall somewhere in the Maritime provinces, and then as a either Category 1 or post-tropical storm. Then as we head into, that's Tuesday, and then into Wednesday, heads our way as a much weaker storm. But there is still the potential to see some strong winds. This is the probability of seeing some tropical storm force winds. The best chance at this point is looking like it'll be for southwestern portions of Newfoundland. The rest of Newfoundland looking at certainly some wind and some rain. And again, the time frame being Tuesday into Wednesday. But again, there's still lots to iron out with that one, so keep an eye on the forecast this weekend. Temperatures will climb back up as we see the hurricane potentially, or at least the remnants of whatever Teddy is at that point, will bring some of that warmer air, and it will be windy through Tuesday and Wednesday for the majority of Newfoundland. And you can see those temperatures through central and western as well, with overnight lows into the teens. And then up through Labrador, you're looking at a big push of nice mild air for Monday and Tuesday, with temperatures around the 18-degree mark. Wednesday's looking a little bit rainy at this point, and 12. And then for western Labrador, just chances some flurries potentially on Saturday, or showers. That'll be later on in the day. And then you're looking at a nice stretch of weather as we head into Wednesday. I had to share this lovely shot. Look at this one from April Kennedy. Is the moonlit sky rather, in Bay Bulls. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. And if you have any weather photos to share with us, send them to nlphotos@cbc.ca.
Just beautiful. Thanks, Ashley. Well, a man from Twillingate who has made it his mission to clean up the garbage people have tossed into the ocean is being recognized for his efforts. Sean Bath worked as a commercial diver for decades, and 2 years ago he started a program to clean up harbors in the province. Since then, he's hauled up thousands of pounds of trash from the ocean floor. Today, he received a conservation award from the Canadian Wildlife Federation.
I present this award for the Stan Hodgkins Outdoors Person of the Year on behalf of the Canadian Wildlife Federation to Mr. Sean Bath and the Clean Harbors Initiative, and all the hard work that he's done making our waters cleaner and making a home for wildlife here across the province, one day at a time. Thank you very much, Mr. Bath.
Congratulations on the award.
Thank you.
What did you think when you found out you were getting it?
Oh man, I was blown away. And I was like, well, what do I say? Like, man, this is a pretty big deal, right? This is a Stan Hodgkins award, right? So as I was thinking what to do, man, like tears were just rolling in my face on my keyboard, right? And I just looked at it, well, that's it, I'm in tears, right?
So it was an emotional thing for you?
It was, man.
Why was it so emotional for you?
Why?
Yeah.
Well, after almost 2 years, or actually a little over 2 years, I've finally had some national organization recognize what we're doing, right? And I knew with their recognition that we were going to get a lot more support from people so we can grow and do this on a much bigger scale.
And tell us about what you do.
Well, essentially, I just travel all over Newfoundland, or at least as far as I can afford to right now, which eventually, hopefully, will be all over the province. And we dive into the local harbours and we clean up all the debris, the old rubber tires, car batteries, and what have you, whatever we've thrown overboard in the years gone by, right?
Where did this idea come from?
Well, I spent 21 years diving for sea urchins, and day after day I'd be diving in some of these harbours, and you'd literally be picking sea urchins off trash, right? Like rubber tires and stuff. I mean, and I guess I had to do something about it, right? I just needed to see it get cleaned up, and I figured if I started doing it myself and document everything I'm doing with pictures and videos and put it on Facebook, maybe we get some help, right? And be able to get the government behind us or wherever.
What kind of garbage is down there? How bad is it?
Tires are the biggest problem for around the local wharves. The average harbour we dive in's probably got 100 to 200 tires in them, right? The bigger wharves that's been used commercially for longer periods of time, they're a lot worse. Some of those that we've already retrieved so high as like 500-600 tires, right? And that's a lot of micro rubber when that breaks down. But we're going to be getting that out of the ocean, so it won't get a chance to break down.
And why is it so important to get all of this trash out of the harbor? Some people might think, you know, out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah, well, that's the wrong way to look at it, but unfortunately, that's why we looked at it for quite a few years. If we don't remove it now, it's going to break down in microscopic pieces, and once it's broken down, there's no way of retrieving it. Well, the microscopic rubber gets in the food chain. Fish are eating it, and we're eating the fish, and then we're wondering why we're getting so many different diseases and so much stuff going wrong. Maybe that's a large part of it, right?
So you find a lot of tires. What other sorts of things have you found under there?
I jokingly say our harbors are much like the internet. Whatever you can imagine is there. We got like car batteries, tires, rubber clothes, fishing gear, bottles and cans. Like most every harbor we dive in has got like 5,000 or 6,000 bottles on the bottom around a given wharf. It's crazy.
Do you have any kind of a sense of how much garbage you've pulled out of the ocean over those years?
Well, right now we've gotten approximately 1,500 standard-sized car tires taken out and 30,000 pounds of trash.
Wow, that's a lot of energy.
It is quite a bit of work went into that. When we get our boat launched, the amount of trash we're going to be able to take up the end is going to be a lot more than what we've been able to do so far.
So you've been diving for a long time. You must love it. You must love being under the water like that. How do you feel when you are down there in this place that you love and you see all of this trash that people have just chucked in there?
It's heartbreaking to see what we've done to our harbors, but at the same time, knowing what I'm doing, every time I get in the harbor that's dirty, I know this is a gold mine for me because now I get to clean all this up, right? I get to take a whole load of trash out of the ocean. It makes me feel excellent to do that.
You feel satisfaction from that?
Absolutely.
Well, congratulations once again on the award, and thank you so much for talking to us about it.
Thank you.
Friends are worried about you. They're here with me.
I was super surprised when I saw the trailer online. I was just on YouTube and I saw it. I clicked on it and I was like, oh, that's me.
Find out why you'll be hearing this Newfoundlander in a big budget video game.
Let's have a look at some more smiling faces. I'm sure they're smiling underneath those masks. Students heading back to class, their first day back after months being off. We received so many of these photos we just had to share with you. We'll share some more a bit later in the show. Thanks to everyone who's
Welcome back to Here and Now. In a pandemic, people are finding more ways to entertain themselves inside.
Your friends are worried about you. They're here with me. Please come out.
Well, for gamers, one title that a lot of people are waiting for is Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach. The reason we're excited about it? Well, that voice you heard there is a Newfoundlander. This is a big break for Stacey Young, who recorded her parts from her home in Botwood. Don't worry, if you've never heard of Five Nights at Freddy's, I got her to describe the game a little bit for me.
It is a horror game. It's not made for children, even though it kind of looks like it, because it's like animatronics, and it looks like it's for children, but no, it is not. It started out as like an indie sort of a game, and really, really, really progressed over the years. So this new one is going to be available on PlayStation, the new PlayStation 5 exclusively, for like a couple of months, and then it's going to be available on other platforms.
Okay,
so yeah, it's like a horror game.
So how did you end up being that voice that we heard in that trailer there?
I auditioned for it. There was a casting on voices.com, and I auditioned for it, and the creator liked my audition. So chose me.
How did you get into doing voiceovers?
A couple of years ago, my boyfriend was doing some audio work online. He started freelancing, and I always wanted to be an actor in a way. I never really pursued it, but I saw that there was like voice acting opportunities on the website that he was using. So I did some research, and I decided I wanted to try it. So I started learning about it. My boyfriend taught me how to edit audio, and I bought equipment and just started auditioning.
So how much work goes into, when you hear a voiceover like that? How much preparation do you have to do, and what's your process like there?
It's a lot of work. You probably know this yourself, like recording audio, editing it. With a character, you need to like make sure that you're saying things the right way, the right tone. So you kind of got to do a little bit of research or talk to the creator to get exactly what they want. Sometimes you need to record things a couple of times. You have to make sure that your setup is appropriate. So right now I don't have like a studio or anything, so I will like deck out my room with moving blankets, and you got to make sure that it sounds good.
So basically you turn your room into a studio, moving blankets, sort of put something over your head in order to get that studio sound?
Yeah, I do. If I can't make it sound perfect, I will take a moving blanket and hold it over my head while I'm doing stuff.
Okay, so not as glamorous as some people might think. Have you been?
It can be glamorous, but I'm not there yet.
Have you been able to make this a career? Is this something that pays well enough that it can be your full-time job?
It can. I'm not there yet. This was like my first major thing that I've ever done. But it's definitely like it's a good side hustle for now, but you can make it a career if you really try hard.
And I guess the other nice thing is you can do this from Botwood. You know, it's something that from pretty much anywhere in the world, you don't have to be in a major center in order to have this career.
No, a lot of people, I'd say probably most people who do voiceover stuff do it remotely or like from a studio.
Well, thank you very much for speaking with me, and good luck.
Thank you very much.
Well, from video games to social media sites, the U.S. government is banning 2 popular Chinese apps because of national security concerns. As of Sunday, WeChat will effectively be shut down, and no new downloads of TikTok will be allowed. A full ban of that video sharing platform is coming later. Today, the U.S. Commerce Secretary says there are worries about what China could do with user information.
What they collect are data on locality, data on what you're streaming toward, what your preferences are, what you're referencing. Every bit of behavior that the American side is indulging in becomes available to whoever is watching on the other side.
Well, today, TikTok said it's disappointed with the decision to block new downloads. The company plans to challenge the full ban on its use in the U.S. That ban is scheduled to take effect November 12th. It's not yet clear what the U.S. bans will mean for Canadian users. Well, still with the states, U.S. President Donald Trump and Democratic presidential candidate Joe Biden are in Minnesota today. Early voting has begun in the hotly contested state. CBC's Susan Ormiston visited one of the polling stations.
It's 46 days till the U.S. election, but people are already voting here in Minnesota and a handful of other states. The first day of in-person voting, and there's been a steady stream in here all day. You can see what a COVID voting center looks like with the plexiglass and sanitizers and social distancing. People want to come and vote early, and election experts say this year may break records in the number of Americans who vote early. 6 in 10 say they want to, and that could mean between now and Election Day, more than 60 million votes will be cast in advance of November 3rd. Now, there has been controversy over mail-in voting, with President Trump casting suspicions and saying that the only way Democrats can win is if they rig the election. Minnesota said there hasn't been fraud in its decades of early voting.
I think right now everybody's concerned about the mail-in process and having that go awry somehow, or having it be questioned. So when you show up in person and you drop it in the box yourself, you know what you've done.
I think we need a change.
Why?
I don't like lies. And our president, he tells a lot of them.
Both President Trump and Joe Biden are in the state of Minnesota today to mark the early voting. The Republicans would like to take this state away from the Democrats, but so far, in most recent polling, Trump trails Joe Biden by about 9 points. Susan Ormiston, CBC News, Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Okay, right now I'm sure a lot of students are smiling because it's the weekend, but we wanted to just look back to that first day of school and check out some of those smiles from across Newfoundland and Labrador.
As we've reported earlier, there's one new case of COVID in our province. A man in Central between 20 and 39 years old has tested positive after returning from the United States. So that makes 2 active cases in Newfoundland and Labrador. Ottawa is now experiencing its second wave of COVID. It's one of several areas in Ontario with a worrisome escalation in new cases. But federal officials say as a nation, Canada is not in a second wave, at least not yet.
The situation does differ from one area of the country to another. But what we are seeing is that certainly in the 4 biggest provinces, British Columbia and Alberta and Ontario and Quebec, that the case numbers have been going steadily, up and increasing for quite a number of weeks, and certainly that's concerning.
Meanwhile, Quebec's safety minister is taking steps to prevent a second wave of COVID-19 by launching a police blitz on bars across the province this weekend. Officers will be making sure pandemic restrictions are being observed. Provincial officials say more restrictions could be imposed if the ongoing surge in cases isn't reversed. Well, Bloc Québécois leader Yves-François Blanchet has tested positive for COVID-19. The party made the announcement today, adding that he will remain in isolation until September 26th. The Bloc Québécois says Blanchet is doing well despite the positive test. Blanchet's wife tested positive for the illness earlier this week. Much of the party's caucus has been self-isolating since a staff member tested positive on Monday. School-aged children in BC will soon be able to take a new test for COVID. The province's chief health officer says it's the first of its kind in the world and should make it much easier than doing a nasal swab. CBC's Susanna De Silva has the details from Vancouver.
A child tilts their head back and opens their mouth really wide.
It's a new and less uncomfortable option.
The water will taste salty, like the water in the ocean.
To find out if kids have COVID, and it was developed here in BC.
So there were a group of us that were discussing that we needed to have a sample collection method that would be easier, first of all, particularly for children, as well as for healthcare providers. And
Dr. David Goldfarb is part of a team through the BC Centre for Disease Control and BC Children's Hospital. They have been testing to make sure the new collection method worked under guidance from Health Canada.
We were finding it was performing very similar to the nasopharyngeal swab.
Kids put salt water in their mouths and alternate swishing and gargling for 20 seconds. The sample is then processed the same way nasal samples are.
It makes it easier without needing a healthcare worker. We want to have it available for everybody.
But the focus is now on children because of back to school and the challenge it can be to collect samples from kids.
I think just for kids, and given the sort of this unfamiliarity with a nose swab, the swish and spit is going to be the option.
There have been a few small studies around the world, but BC is one of the first places to roll it out, and they have made their information available for other countries and provinces who want to use the same method. Susanna De Silva, CBC News, Vancouver.
Before we let you go for the weekend, Ashley, give us an idea. What can we expect over the next 24 hours with all this rain coming in?
Yeah, so we're going to see that rain heavy at times tonight. Like I said, anywhere from 15 to as much as 20 millimeters rainfall rates, as high as that falling in an hour. Once that rain is all said and done, heading through tomorrow afternoon, the weekend actually looks fairly lovely, although it will be fall-like. Slight chance of some showers into central through Friday, or rather Saturday and Sunday. But other than that, it is looking like a beautiful weekend.
Lots of anniversaries this week. Happy 56th anniversary to Bob and Margaret Shepherd of Bishop's Falls. Daphne and Bill Callahan from St. John's are celebrating their 63rd. Happy anniversary to Art and Mary Sturge, who celebrated 72 years together. Congratulations. It's a happy 56th for Madonna and Dominic Fitzgerald from Placentia, wishing Raymond and Shirley Pelly a happy 65th anniversary, formerly from Port Albert, now living in Gander. Happy 55th anniversary to Mary and Jeremiah Osmond of Channel Port of Ask. Congratulations to Jim and Bridget Welsh of Carbonear, who will celebrate their 50th anniversary tomorrow.
Happy 64th anniversary to Bill and Loretta Collins of Placentia. Congratulations to Roland and Bessie Wells of Cox's Cove on their 67th wedding anniversary. Happy anniversary to Walter and Anita Pierce of St. John's. They've been married 57 years. Happy 53rd anniversary to Cyril and Sandra Walsh of Fairyland. Happy 65th wedding anniversary to Jan and Dick Duder of Grand Falls, Windsor. Happy 53rd anniversary to Betty and Junior Colburn of Roberts Arm. Happy 50th wedding anniversary to Terry and Joan Dean of Northern Arm.
Happy 54th anniversary to John and Mary Cox of Clark's Beach. Happy 54th anniversary to Mary and Gilbert Kinsella of St. Anthony. Happy 57th anniversary to Sid and Evelyn Butt, currently living in Masonic Park in Mount Pearl. Thomas and Shirley Reed from Clarenville are celebrating 68 years together. Happy 50th anniversary to Chester and Shirley Ford of Bonavista. Congratulations, Patsy and Gordon Yetman. They're celebrating their 50th anniversary today. Happy 60th anniversary to Arthur and Sheila Hoolan from Stephenville.
Gordon and Marie Lannon of Bishop's Falls celebrated their 74th anniversary yesterday. David and Susan Moss of Eastport are celebrating their 56th anniversary tomorrow. Congratulations to Albert and Minnie Warren of Corner Brook, who are celebrating their 65th anniversary. Happy anniversary to Shirley and Louis Snow from Ray Roberts, celebrating 54 years together. 50th wedding anniversary greetings going out to Alfred and Cassie Martin of Wabush, now living in Shoal Harbor. Happy 50th anniversary to Dave and Mary Daw of Grand Falls, Windsor. Wayne and Brenda Collins are celebrating their 50th anniversary today. They live in Conception Bay South. Congratulations to Fred and Mary Woodruff, who celebrated their 70th anniversary on Wednesday.
Taking a look at some birthdays now, Mary Follett of Corner Brook is celebrating her 94th birthday. Isabel McKinnon is turning 96. Nehemiah Stringer of Conception Bay South, formerly of Little Hearts Ease, is celebrating his 98th birthday. Joyce Chipman from Spaniards Bay turned 98. Happy 94th birthday to Marjorie Philpott of Cottlesville. Happy 94th birthday to Gladys Gibbons. She lives in Flowers Cove.
Emma White celebrated her 90th birthday on September 13th. Happy birthday to you. Birthday greetings to Ruby Loader of North Harbor, now living in Placentia, who's celebrating her 93rd birthday tomorrow. Nellie Collier of St. Albans is celebrating her 90th birthday tomorrow. Happy birthday to Teresa Bennett, who is celebrating her 90th birthday. A very special happy birthday to Gordon White of Catalina, now living in Bonavista, who celebrated his 94th birthday this week. Birthday greetings to Ivy Rowe, who turned 97 on September 16th. Happy 92nd birthday to Margaret Cooper of Harbor Buffett, now living in Old Shop.
Birthday wishes to Catherine Coombs of Heart's Desire, who turns 90 today. And a happy 102nd birthday to the always funny Gertie Drover of Badger. Happy birthday to Gladys Small from Morton's Harbour, who turns 91. She currently lives in Twillingate. And a happy 100th birthday to Merle Berkshire of Elliott's Cove, Random Island, who is now living in Clarenville. He is celebrating today. Congratulations. Well, and staying with birthdays, the pandemic has brought about an unlikely friendship. Wolfgang Reeder recently turned 3 and insisted his heroes, the neighborhood garbage collectors, be invited. Little did he know they had a surprise of their own. Here's Angelina King from Toronto.
Look, a garbage kid.
Like many kids, 3-year-old Wolfgang Reeder likes to pretend to be his favorite superheroes. For him, it's the neighborhood garbage men.
Here's your DJ.
That one's DJ.
And this one is Drew.
Wolfie got to know DJ and Drew while staying at home during the pandemic. Every Friday, he'd be waiting with his trucks ready to hang out with his new friends. They call themselves the Wolf Pack.
We took a liking to him and he took a liking to us. Wolfie's a really great kid. He's a really great kid. I like that kid, man.
Wolfie's friendship has turned into a bit of an obsession. His favorite toy, garbage trucks, lots of them. This year's Halloween costume, a garbage man. His dream career, a garbage loader. So when his 3rd birthday rolled around and the pandemic stopped him from having a big party, his parents said he could invite over 1 or 2 friends. His choice?
Without hesitation, he said Drew and DJ immediately. So we laughed it off, especially because it was a Wednesday, his birthday, and if these, they come around on a Friday, so if it were on a Friday, I'm sure we could have made it work.
But superheroes wouldn't miss such a special day. 4 garbage trucks showed up and Wolfie got to meet some new heroes. Although DJ was on holidays, Drew brought a gift from the Wolf Pack.
Since you're part of the pack, we got you something.
And what's even better than getting your very own gear?
You come play me with my garbage trucks.
Help the family, give the kids something to do during this lockdown and bring out the good spirits in times like this.
So what's it like to be a real-life superhero?
It means a lot because it's the children, They're the next generation to come. So seeing them enthusiastic about even just something as simple as, as what we do in our everyday lives brings meaning, shows the importance of everything that everyone does in society. So it makes me feel good.
And what's it like to be part of the Wolf Pack?
It's like seeing a bunch of 3-year-olds on the sidewalk. They take it right down to his level. They dance. They're not afraid to be silly, really kind, gentle souls who are full of positive, good energy. These are role models, ideal role models.
And essential workers serving their community while still making time for their little buddy.
Thank you.
And one of their best superpowers, they'll be back next week. Angelina King, CBC News, Toronto.
Oh, I love that story. Just absolutely adorable. And speaking of sweet things, now that most kids are back to class, the next big challenge for parents is going to be Halloween. If you're unsure about trick-or-treating during the pandemic, a dad in Ohio has come up with a very clever solution, the candy chute. He made it using materials they had around the house, a shipping tube, orange spray paint, and some duct tape. It keeps the candy flowing while respecting physical distancing. Not a bad idea. It'll be interesting to see how Halloween plays out in this province this year. Still have over a month to go.
Yeah, it did come up a couple weeks ago at the briefing, but at that point the Chief Medical Officer of Health said was like, just let's get through back to school and then we can focus on Halloween. So I suspect we'll have some news over the next couple of weeks as people try and figure out, should I be buying that costume, sewing it, we'll get more details.
And now we can focus on Friday and the weekend. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. Good night.
Good night.